Important first question. Would you consider yourself a Sigma male?
Oh my
Oh.
god.
Are you familiar with the
I-
newfound results?
The ultimate male type?
The
Yeah,
rarest
yeah,
male
yeah.
type.
Isn't that just like Chad? Isn't it just a different version of Chad, right?
It's not just a Chad. The Sigma male is new. It's new tech. You see, it's the lone wolf variation of the alpha male. So the John
It defies
Wick,
the social structure.
the true rare male type is the alpha male that is a lone wolf on his own, wearing suits and chasing after money and his own pace. And he's the coolest and strongest and doesn't scared of nothing. And he could be an alpha if he wanted. That's the biggest, most important point. He could be an alpha if he wanted to be, but he chooses to be Sigma.
I think the most important part of the Sigma male is that it is a male type that just happens to be going their own way.
Happens. Look, there's many ways the Sigma could have wandered, and it just happened to decide to go its own way. Yes.
When I hear Sigma, all I think about is Mega Man X. That's it. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah,
that's
absolutely.
I mean, that's
So
not
I'm
wrong.
probably
either.
not. I'm probably
Okay.
not when I immediately think about the Mega Man X villain. So
I think the saddest thing is that there was like a single day where that Sigma male shit just was poisoning my timeline.
YouTube videos.
Every single photo I saw was of Keanu Reeves as
Yes.
John Wick.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's always a picture of John Wick and that face and that look of like, fuck the world, I'm gonna do whatever it takes. I'm gonna choose my own path and do my own thing and get my money. And I could be an alpha with all the other girls as I wanted, but I choose to be the lone wolf. Yeah.
He got a wife, but he did get his money though. He did get his money and his wife. He just got out of the game, right? That was the whole thing.
Well, he was an alpha, but then his wife died, and he didn't get a new wife. Then he became the Sigma.
He
became
became
Sigma after
Sigma.
his wife died.
Yes.
After his wife and his dog died, and then he decided, okay, I'm going to choose my own way. But he's not choosing money though, right?
Well, after
He's choosing-
Magma Dragoon betrayed everybody and Chill Penguin showed up on the scene, then the day of Sigma occurred and John Wick made his choice.
It was Quick Man. It was Quick Man that did it.
I can't
Or
handle
Chill
the
Penguin.
idea of like X and Zero arguing which one of them is a beta or which one is fucking red pilled as shit.
Okay, well, first of all, Axel is clearly beta. He's built to be a beta.
Oh
bot.
my god!
So don't even
He
question
uses
that.
a gun.
Yeah, two of them. Axel was built to be beta. You don't even have to question it. And I think Zero again is he's built on Chad properties because it's all about one-upping Mega Man.
Well,
So
but you saw the cutscenes from X4. He's the original Sigma type.
well, yes, but okay. But then also, but he's built to out Chad X, right? Out of spite.
Yeah.
So that makes him like, alpha because he's doing the funky hand pose, right? But then the next question is like, but then he's like crying over Iris, So what part of crying over Iris is alpha there? So it's hard.
Zero always came off as like Shadow the Hedgehog to me, crying over Maria also, and it's like built to out Chad the Sonic, the blue bomber,
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean that Dr. Light intentionally built the first trad wife robot in Roll?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was meant to be that way. Rock and roll,
She
right?
wants to stay at home and do the cleaning, and she's got a fucking vacuum arm and a
Yeah.
Dr. Light's book was called The Game, a guide to pickup artists. Pickup artist life. Little did we know that before Proto Man, he built Mystery Man, the robot with the fuzzy top hat and eyeliner that could intrigue all the ladies with his mystery, his powers of confusion and negging. So, all right, down the hole we go.
Someone in the chat asked, what is a trad wife? Trad wife is basically what the robot in Detroit Become Human, the girl robot in Detroit Become Human was supposed to be.
Kara.
Basically. Kara, yeah.
Traditional wife.
God.
Traditional wife.
Yeah, she was the first role.
It's the Wojak that's blushing with the blonde hair and the old school dress.
Yes, with the blue dress with the shoulders and everything,
yes.
And the blush.
And the complexion that needs to be defended and protected with these 14 words we say.
The shield, the shield.
Etc., etc., etc. Indeed. Okay.
That's a good start.
Yep. That's fine. That's fine. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Sir, as a Kirby connoisseur and fan, I appreciate your avatar online. I appreciate your Bayonetta Kirby. It's a good portrait. It's a good Twitter photo. Shaped like a friend, and he's got glasses like me. So it's just been my look, Woolie, I appreciate your Kirby lore series over the years.
Thank you. I've been watching them for many times, and they have informed my appreciation of Kirby over the years.
Yeah. and of course, Bayonetta Kirby is shaped like a friend, but if you try to touch them, they will not stand for it and will wicked weave you. So good times.
I genuinely thought you were going to say if you try and touch Bayonetta Kirby, it will fade away into the ether to deny you any sense of satisfaction or closure ever and disappear from your memory.
We will get there. Hold that thought while
I have been
hold the line.
holding that thought for 650 days.
Hold that thought while you hold the line. How about that?
All right.
So let's go. Positions are banned. What's up? Is everybody up to date on the latest of this Game Stonks debacle? Because
I woke up from a nap, so no.
Well, the narrative has it's evolved quite a bit in the last 7 days since we talked about it. When we last talked about it, it was a matter of like, wow, this wild, crazy ass story. And I was like, yeah, I was following. I wanted to get into investing like a month ago. So I decided to start following a bunch of different places. And Wall Street Bets was one of the places I was keeping my eye on. And then they started working on this thing and memeing about it. But it turned out to be so right that it became mainstream news because effectively they had landed on what was the hidden Minesweeper mine with Melvin Capital, and then everything that's connected to that, finding out that billions had been invested into shorting GameStop. And since we last talked about it, it has gone through a ridiculous series of like, okay, high publicity, everyone gets involved, then news stories come out with people going on trying to basically create a narrative describing why the hedge funds are the good guys in this situation. Dudes that show up and start crying about the market are on TV, and in the meantime, there's literal movements that involve like what was it, like a couple places stopped selling the GameStop stock at some point, and then actually Robinhood stopped it, but you could still sell it, of course.
And then in some cases they sold it for you.
They sold it for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then there was also I think now it's they allowed it again, but they limited it to one per person, and then I think now it's at possibly like 8 or so per person, and just going through all kinds of incredible fucking twists and turns. And it's been wild to see the level of like mask off, blatant, we will pull out all the stops to effectively deflate this any way we can in any shape or form. Disinformation campaigns like firing at 110%, and people effectively seeing that, calling it out, and just continuing to hold. It's gonna be incredible to see where this goes in the history books, I think.
So I gotta say, from a personal level, like I have always maintained that I don't understand the stock market, and because I'm very smart, anything I don't understand must be fake. Therefore, the stock market must be fake.
Mm-hmm.
This has not helped that perception. Like the idea, every time I talk about stocks, the economy, people go, "Pat, you don't know what you're talking about. You're a moron." I'm like, this shit makes me feel like everybody talking about the economy is a dumbass, because it seems very arbitrary. But
so
more than that,
mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry, after you.
No, I was going to say, it turns out that you're right in that it is all fake, but the difference is that the point of a hedge fund is that they know that it's fake, so they can capitalize on the fact that it's fake by making it extra fake and deliberately hoping that nobody really catches on for a long time, because we're in the business of, making this seem complicated, not telling anybody what's going on. Because of course, the whole thing about it too is like, if you find a good opportunity, you don't want other people to necessarily know what you're trying to do. So it's just the confusion you have is intentional and by design.
Yeah. I'm also not a stock person. I'm super confused by the whole thing. To me, the funniest thing about the last week were all the people who kept saying, this GameStop thing is not funny. It's not funny. Why are you laughing about this GameStop thing? And then the more they said that, the harder I kept laughing. Because you're saying the GameStop thing isn't funny, but you're saying the word GameStop, which is inherently funny. So,
it's like one of the worst companies I've ever personally dealt with in the world is being used as a knife to stab a bunch of rich people.
I mean, the last we left off, they were the ones that were sending their employees to fucking death COVID lineups for releases of new games and shit like that. It was in a ridiculous state. And yeah, to have this kind of come back now and be this thing that's like, actually, so it doesn't even matter that it's GameStop. It's more just like, this happened to be the one. This happened to be the place, and like,
yeah, the only reason it happened to GameStop is because somebody noticed that it was highly shorted.
Exactly. It could have been any other place, but it's becoming a stand of, the average person, or the proletariat, if you would, versus the
So I don't understand the stock market. I think this is a pretty honest truth that no one will fight me on, that I don't understand the stock market. However, looking over the past week, I can tell you what I do understand is being poor and being spiteful. So from a mechanics stock perspective, I don't really have much to say. I don't really get it. I've looked it up, I've read it up, I kind of get short selling now. It seems like a scam. But I understand being spiteful very, very strongly. And the emotional journey from exactly 1 week ago has been fascinating. You know that meme image of a guy setting up like a tiny little domino and it's going to knock over like a giant gray domino?
Oh, yeah.
Like, the first one is some guy on Wall Street Bets notices that the GameStop stock is being shorted. And the big one is, I have to end my stream before 8 p.m. tonight because AOC is going to dominate Twitch airwaves again. And I need to get the fuck out of the way of that shit. Because it like you described, Wooly, how it started off as like an economic, series of shenanigans, and out come the corruption stops. Like, no, you can't trade that. Oh, we're looking into ways to stop that. We're going to sell shit for you. And it turned like the meaning of stonks, right? And everybody hold the line and all that shit. It turned the funsiness of that to what I can only imagine is the crowdsourced version of Joker burning that big pile of money in the Dark Knight.
Mm-hmm.
And then, why are you burning this big pile of money, Joker? Oh, for laughs. Because
Yeah.
it's funny to burn your money.
I got a
And
text
fuck 'em.
message. I got a text message from a friend who was like, "Look, probably too late for me to jump in and make anything, but it's definitely not too late to jump in and hurt a hedge fund." You know, that was literally the conclusion there. I mean, I think we've all gotten a better understanding of, like, at the very least, how short squeezes work over the last week. And I remember I had a very basic understanding of it prior to, this week, and kind of described the best I could last time. But in case anybody is looking for more specifics on it, effectively, it's when you are trying to when you will borrow stock from a company and sell it immediately, and then you will owe that stock back to the person you borrowed it from, and you're hoping to buy it back later at a cheaper price and then return it and keep the difference that you've already sold.
Hey, look, it's free money.
Yeah, that's the short version. And it's, if in the meantime, between when you borrow and when you pay it back, it's in your interest to do things like go on TV and use any access you have anywhere to push things as low as possible, drop confidence, and dropping confidence leads to lowering of the stock price, and lowering of the stock price means you buy it back at the lowest possible for the best profit. And what this obviously means is people that actually are like business owners and entrepreneurs for these respective businesses hate short sellers and hate these hedge funds that bet against the market effectively, because their interest is in you or your business failing as hard as possible. So you'll find a lot of like hyper capitalist people coming in to be like, yeah, fuck hedge funds and the short selling as well. It's interesting.
Pat, I think you touched on something interesting too about like how it's easier to understand the emotion of being pissed off and poor, because that's most of us.
Oh man,
right?
It sucks.
So it's like, and then like Woolie on the other end, like it's in their interest to keep shit as confusing as possible. So it's like you can't like, well, where else is the public narrative gonna go other than more people are gonna be pissed off and poor, because they're just gonna understand it a lot more, versus I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but it sounds like a scam to me,
And they're gonna understand. And here's the thing: is that story, that narrative, as you described, as they flail harder and harder and do things that are more and more transparent, it's just gonna incite everyone harder and harder to be like, wow, super fuck you, because like we're not even pretending this is a fair game anymore. It's never been fair, but the illusion of fairness existed in a way where you went, well, we know what we're doing and we do it this way. But like when you see the level that it gets to when they start losing, it becomes, again, mask off is the best way to describe it. And that just incites the rage even harder, and everyone gets like triple spite, for every moment that happens.
So Sterling put out a video today, earlier today, in which they describe that a lot of the emotional drive behind this, behind the people holding for so long, is that it's people who started off spiteful and poor, so spiteful and poor that if they lose everything that they put into the stocks, they will be just as fucked as they were immediately before getting into this whole mess.
Yes.
So why not try and take down some of the people who, for example, never got punished during the housing market crisis?
Exactly. There was a fantastic post from somebody who, I mean, people have been sharing a lot of posts that have been going up on Wall Street Bets, but one of them was somebody basically describing, the person described like, the most I've ever had in my bank account at any point in my life has been like $9,000, and on a regular basis, I'm used to having $1,000 to being broke. I don't ever have any comfort to catch me. I'm used to this level, and if I go in on this and nothing happens and I lose it all, I'll just be back to the same place I always was at. but like the absolute opportunity to fuck these people over for once after their infinite lording on the situation and like their manipulation of everything is like they have nothing to lose. There's no reason to not ride this all the way out in the hopes that you can at the very least like it's interesting because it's like it effectively amounts to a window of time in which like there can be a redistribution of wealth according to market rules, if you want to get into like that sort of thing, but but ultimately like a lot of this like is going down based on how long they can hold on and how much they can trick people into jumping out before they have to commit to rebuying everything they own. So the mind game is like, we don't know how long this part is going to last, but like the more they can get people to effectively like just lose faith in it or be like, I'll just cash out now or whatever the case is, like the more they can save their skin.
I was going to say something, but I forgot.
I got something. Don't worry, Gene. You find that in your brain and tag me out. All I've been thinking is like so much of this is powered by spite, and spite is like
unlimited
infinite.
spite.
It
works.
doesn't go away. It like if you're spiteful because of the situation you are in your life, and you're just spiteful at somebody in a situation that you don't believe that they deserve it, it's not going to go away until that person either loses their status or you gain a different one. So if they're hoping to ride that emotion out, fucking good luck. But I would never advocate for any possible crime ever. But all I can think of is if these rich Wall Street people are upset at losing all of their money, imagine how upset they would be if they were being literally physically eaten in a street by an angry crowd hungry for Wall Street num flesh.
I'm surprised it took you 26 minutes to get there.
It would be they'd be very upset.
Took you longer than usual to get there, but you got there.
Imagine them crying out to the invisible hand of the free market to put their legs back on. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Okay. Here's what I remember. Everyone keeps comparing this to gambling, right? But I've been to Vegas many times. I've lost a lot of money there. You gamble in Vegas, and you never know really what you're going to get in return. But if I gambled at the right time during this whole GameStop thing, I know, like you said, Pat, that I will be able to ride some kind of emotion out, right? Like I'm paying in to feel like I'm screwing over the man, and that at least is some kind of return on investment for me. If I was that spiteful.
Yeah, imagine if you could go to a casino and play blackjack with the knowledge that if you put down enough of a blackjack bet, the casino would lose money somehow.
Yeah.
Now, do you think, Gene, this is going to result in like a change to like Wall Street regulation to stop this from happening, or do you think it's simply going to result in risk assessment being that, hey, shorting is now dangerous and we're just not going to do that anymore?
I think probably the latter. I've only been in DC for 6 years now, but just seeing how hard things happen here, the phrase "it takes an act of Congress to do anything" just doesn't come out of nowhere. They just won't do anything a lot,
Okay.
So I don't know. We're gonna have hearings on the GameStop thing. We're definitely gonna have that. But almost nothing ever comes out of these hearings. So a lot of it is also political theater too. But I don't know. Who knows? This is we're talking about money here.
Yeah.
So this is why this is unprecedented.
And you've also seen like the entire political spectrum weighing in on it, and it seems like almost bipartisan in that people are like, hey, this is a suspicious situation where Robinhood is shutting down the ability to buy a stock simply because it's like compromising a traditional Wall Street.
Compromising their primary client.
So like it feels as if like the the fact that like so many people are weighing in on it that are otherwise on opposite sides of the aisle, like might lend it some more, boost towards something. But yeah, you're right. Like we'll have to see, but it's not going to be the same after this.
I do very much agree with you, Gene, in that regardless of any kind of political oversight, once I saw that the situation was as simple as a bunch of people noticed that GameStop was really short sold and then bought it en masse, it feels like a genie that can't go back in the bottle. Like people are going to be scanning for highly short sold stocks en masse forever now.
Yes. Yeah. Because
it's a great idea. It's a great idea. Why not do it all the time?
The potential for losses on behalf of whoever is short selling is infinite. It's literally
that's a concept that's hard to understand.
Your losses can go to the moon, to use the term.